Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital Thursday, October 10 recap. Sonny pushes Carly to flee the country murder evidence delivered to PCPD. General Hospital, GH, spoilers recap for Thursday, October 10 reveals that Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, assured Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, that she knew what she was doing by talking to her, and didn't need an attorney present. Christina insisted she could remember clearly now, and knew she'd driven somewhere other than the cemetery that night. Anna was trying to get Christina to confirm what car she drove, but Michael Corinthos, Chad Dell, barged in and shut down the interrogation. Afterward, Michael revealed that he knew where Christina was due to a tracker on her phone, so she complained about him stalking her. However, Michael remained in protective brother mode and didn't want Christina making a bigger mess of the case. At Pentonville, Martin Gray, Michael E. Knight, showed Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, a pic that his PI had snapped of Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, going in Jack Brennan's Charles Mazur room. Alexis doubted it was enough to disprove the alibi Carly had given Sonny, but Martin acted like it was their only card to play. Martin arrived at Anna's office door to show her the new evidence, but Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, turned him away and told him to take it up with the FBI. At the coffee warehouse, Diane Miller, Carolyn Hennessy, pushed Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, to get Sonny Corinthos, Morris Bernard, to confess for Alexis' sake, but Jason told her that Sonny already planned to turn himself in. Jason was frustrated over the situation since he didn't want Sonny to land behind bars, not to mention Carly could face legal consequences for covering for him. Meanwhile, Sonny told Carly that he was going to confess and left her reeling since she could go down with him. Although Sonny urged Carly to leave the country with Donna Corinthos, Scarlett Spears, and go somewhere without extradition, Carly refused. After Carly decided she'd have to stay and fight the charges, Sonny called Diane to get the ball rolling on working out a deal for him. Later, Sonny told Jason he'd confessed to whatever the FBI wanted as long as nobody else went down for what happened to John Jagger Cates, Adam J. Harrington. At the GH Chapel, Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, shared an emotional embrace with Laura Collins, Jenny Francis, who hoped he could save Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens, now that he was home. That led to Lucky's admission that he wasn't a viable liver donor for Lulu, so Laura was crushed. However, Laura didn't blame Lucky and ultimately asked for his help saying goodbye to Lulu if it came to that. In Lulu's room, Dan Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, worried about the promise he made Rocco Falconeri, Fincar, about finding another donor. Since all Lulu's blood relatives had been tested, Dante told Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst, it'd be tough to find a stranger who was a match and willing to donate. Olivia Quartermain, Lisa Locicero, appeared with updates on Nena Reeves, Cynthis Watros, using her media resources to put the word out. And Olivia was doing her part to spread the donor search news too. Back at the police station, the place had to be evacuated due to a bomb threat. There was a suspicious package left in a security cam blind spot outside, but it was eventually determined that it was safe. Once Anna opened the box up and found a 9mm gun, she showed Chase and assumed this was the gun that Alexis said would exonerate her. General Hospital spoilers say the Cates investigation will come with more twists and turns, so we'll bring you more predictions on all the action. On Thursday, October 10, General Hospital brought the heat with a thrilling episode that left Port Charles on edge, and viewers clutching the edge of their seats. The focus shifted to Sonny Corinthos, Carly Spencer, and the PCPD's latest evidence, a combination of tension, desperation, and high-stakes decisions. Sonny's growing desperation. The episode opened with Sonny Corinthos pacing the dimly lit living room of his penthouse, clearly rattled. For a man known to keep his cool in the face of danger, today was different. Sonny had been dealing with increasing pressure from his enemies, but this time the noose was tightening, and it wasn't just his life on the line. With Carly in danger and murder evidence piling up at the PCPD, Sonny knew that any misstep could spell disaster. After receiving a tip from a trusted informant, Sonny discovered that the police had new evidence linking Carly to a murder she had no part in. The bombshell evidence, which was set to be delivered to the PCPD, could change everything for the Corinthos family. Sweat beading on his forehead, Sonny made a hasty call to Carly. The tone in his voice was urgent, almost frantic, as he barked into the phone. "Carly, you need to come over now. We don't have much time." Carly, unaware of the gravity of the situation, arrived at Sonny's penthouse shortly after. Her expression shifted from confusion to concern as Sonny explained the seriousness of what they were up against. "The cops are about to get their hands on some serious evidence, Carly. If they connect it to you, it's over." Her jaw tightened, but she held her composure. "What kind of evidence?" Carly demanded, eyes wide as she attempted to process what he was saying. "Enough to make you look guilty. You're being set up. We've got to act fast. I've already got a plan, but it's going to require you to leave the country." Now, Carly's resistance. Carly's heart skipped a beat. The thought of fleeing the country, leaving her children and her life in Port Charles behind, felt like a punch to the gut. She had faced more than her fair share of crises over the years, but this was different. This was her freedom, her future, on the line. "Sonny, I can't just leave everything behind," Carly argued, pacing the room. "What about Michael, Donna, Jocelyn? I can't just disappear like that." Sonny, his voice firm, but filled with concern, stepped closer to her. "If you don't, Carly, you're going to end up behind bars for the rest of your life. This isn't a game. The evidence is going to be delivered to the PCPD any minute now, and they're going to come after you." Carly clenched her fists, fighting the rising panic within her. "I'm not going to abandon my kids, Sonny. There has to be another way." Sonny placed his hands on her shoulders, his voice softening as he pleaded. "I can keep the kids safe. I can make sure everything is taken care of, but I need you to trust me. We'll get to the bottom of this, but right now, the safest thing for you to do is disappear. Just for a while, until we figure out who's really behind this." Carly's eyes filled with tears, the weight of the decision pressing down on her. She knew Sonny was right, but the thought of running away felt impossible. Still, the alternative, being thrown in prison for a crime she didn't commit, was equally unbearable. The PCP's big break. Meanwhile, at the PCPD, Detective Dante Falconeri and Jordan Ashford were knee-deep in paperwork when an officer approached, holding a sealed evidence bag. "This just came in. It's connected to the Corinthos case," the officer said, handing it over to Dante. Dante frowned, taking the bag and inspecting its contents. His eyes narrowed as he saw what was inside. A blood-stained handkerchief, a set of fingerprints, and a video recording from a security camera. The combination of evidence was enough to cause serious trouble for anyone tied to it. "What the hell?" Dante muttered under his breath as Jordan peered over his shoulder. "This could be the break we've been waiting for," Jordan said, her expression growing serious. "But whose blood is that?" "We'll have to run tests, but if it links back to Carly..." Dante's voice trailed off. The prospect of arresting his stepmother was not something he wanted to face, but duty came first. The clock ticks down. Back at Sonny's penthouse, the tension was palpable as Carly sat on the couch, her mind racing. Sonny stood by the window, peering out as if he could see the walls closing in on them. "There's no time, Carly. The longer you wait, the closer they get," Sonny warned, his voice a low growl. Carly took a deep breath and nodded, her decision made. "Fine, I'll do it. But you promise me, Sonny, you'll clear my name. You'll figure out who's doing this." "I swear to you, Carly, I'll find the person behind this, and I'll make sure they pay," Sonny vowed, his eyes blazing with determination. Just as they were making plans for Carly's escape, a knock at the door echoed through the penthouse. Both of them froze, exchanging a glance. Sonny moved to the door cautiously, reaching for his gun as he checked the peephole. "It's Jason," Sonny announced, relief washing over him as he opened the door. Jason Morgan stepped inside, his face grim as ever. "We've got a problem," he said without preamble. "What now?" Carly asked, her nerves fraying further. Jason pulled out his phone and showed them the latest news alert. "The evidence has been delivered to the PCPD. It's already being processed. We don't have much time." Carly's stomach dropped as the reality of the situation sunk in. "It's happening, isn't it?" Sonny nodded solemnly. "Yeah, it's happening. But we're going to get through this. I promise." Carly's last goodbye. With Jason's help, Sonny quickly put the finishing touches on their plan. Carly would leave for Canada, using one of Sonny's many safe houses until the heat died down. It wasn't a permanent solution, but it would buy them time. As Carly packed a small bag, the weight of what she was about to do hit her hard. She couldn't help but wonder when, or if, she'd ever be able to come home again. Before she left, Carly hugged Sonny tightly, her voice trembling as she whispered, "Don't let them get away with this." Sonny held her close, whispering back, "I won't. I'll find them, and I'll make sure they pay." As Carly slipped out the back door, her heart heavy with fear and uncertainty, Sonny and Jason were already strategizing their next move. One thing was clear, the battle was far from over, and the war to clear Carly's name had just begun.